We are back with the Screen Team. It is our final segment of the Robert Loggia themed show. We've already done An Evergreen Christmas, Return to Me, and our final film is called Necessary Roughness. This film came out back in 1991. It's a sports comedy film. It stars Scott Bakula, Robert Loggia, and Kathy Ireland. Guys, what'd you think about this film?
I think it's funny that now we're reviewing the film based on Robert Loggia, and back in 1991, I watched it because of Kathy Ireland.
I know, right? I was
That's
the same way,
wild.
man.
But yeah, I really thought that Annie was going to be, doing the synopsis here, and the last minute she pointed at me, so I guess I'm kind of on the hook. But Robert Loggia is the assistant coach for a college football team, and that's the story.
No, he actually recruits Scott Bakula. I mean, he remembers him from high school, and Scott Bakula now he is returning to college after a 14 or an 18-year absence. I guess he's supposed to be a 34-year-old returning collegiate athlete since he never went to college.
Right.
And so Robert Loggia recruits a team because of new NCAA rules where they couldn't bribe fellow football players to join the school and just for football.
Right.
And so they have to rebuild a team. So Robert Loggia's part is to rebuild the team, along with, I can't even think of his name now.
Hector Alonso.
Thank you. And they work really hard together to create a team, but their team is so small. Not only do they have to play the offensive role, but they also have to play a defensive role, which I think there's a special term for that. But again,
Iron Man football.
There you go.
Trivia.
Wow, there you go.
Good job, Mark.
So, and then even Robert Loggia's character, Coach Wally Rigg, he recruits Kathy Ireland, the beautiful Kathy Ireland, to be the kicker of the team. So it just shows you how much the team needed a woman athlete on there in order to win one game.
And we devolved.
So okay.
But and again, it was one of those movies where it's a classic, I guess, early '90s comedy, a college movie, where again, Robert Loggia's character being a supporting character. Again, comedic timing on making funny comments about players that he recruits, and they're trying to build a team and maybe win at least one game.
His comment, I mean, you go online, I think, I think it's one of those movies now that, it's your Channel 11 movie, and everybody's seen, if you haven't seen the movie, you've seen, 10, 15 minutes here or there. But you go online and you can see a whole list of movie quotes. But I think Robert Loggia's, one of his quotes was one of the ones that made me laugh for the first time in the movie. I guess the first thing that made me laugh was what was that big
Manu Manu.
Manu Manu.
When he throws Scott Bakula up on the top bunk. That was hilarious. I don't know why that cracked me up, but I found that very funny. And then the following scene, they're on to get the football practice. They're on the field, and Hector Alonso tells the one guy the Butterfingers guy, who cannot catch the ball. He says, "Keep your eyes on the ball." And Coach Rigg goes, "I prefer you kept your hands on the ball." Just the way it's kind of a stupid joke, especially when you hear me saying it.
Right.
But it's just his delivery and the way that he says things. I don't know. It's just he's fun to watch, and I think the most famous are well known. He's got the speech at the end before they go out for that final game, which I'm sure Chris you'll play word for word there on the radio.
I will, yes.
That's good stuff.
So
they even play at blues games too. You know how they do it, where they try to get the crowd riled up, and that's one of the scenes. Besides one of in the Hoosier movie where they have I think Gene Hackman has his. It's one of the, like you said, it's one of those quotes in the movie where it gets everybody riled up and ready to go. That's how we ended up getting Robert Loggia, because we just decided to pick a movie based on Return to Me, which is our favorite movie. Pick something that he did earlier, and then something that he's done recently.
So I want you to rank them, Annie. I know Return to Me is number 1. What's your number 2?
Oh, I'd say Necessary Roughness and then An Evergreen Christmas.
Why Necessary Roughness over Evergreen?
I like comedy. I mean, I think he was very funny in Necessary Roughness.
So
No, I don't. But I don't mean that you're not ranking Loja in the movies. You're ranking the movies.
That's a good question. I don't
There's
know.
a difference. See, I thought you might have.
You're putting me on the spot.
I know.
I mean, my goodness.
I had to do it to you before you did it to me. I thought that you might have ranked Evergreen second because of the Ritter kid. Anytime she sees a Ritter,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm telling you, it's all about Three's Company. I'm telling you.
So, Mark, do you agree with Ann? Is that how you would rank them? Return to Me, Necessary Roughness, and Evergreen Christmas?
Yeah, I think so. Just because I think Necessary Roughness is kind of a cult classic. But, I think the appeal to Evergreen is, that grandfather figure. And here I go talking about Loja and not so much talking about the movie. But, he's got that grandfather kind of stalwart of the family thing going on. I don't know, so...
Well, there you go. That's the Robert Loja movie review show here on Today's Talk 930 KWOC with Mark and Annie Eswine. Guys, thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh, you're quite welcome.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
asking us.
Van Diemen's High School football rules.
Coming up next week on the Screen Team, we've got Sabrina and Chelsea in the studio. We'll be reviewing The Roommates. Also on the agenda, we've got The Princess and the Frog, the Disney film. And, Mark, one that you'll appreciate, Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds. Remember that one?
Oh, you got to have Ann back for that one.
Yeah, love that one, man. It's all coming your way next Saturday at 6 p.m. For Mark, for Annie, and Chris, we are the Screen Team on Today's Talk 930 KWOC.